G'day, I'm Matt Stone and we're here in Margaret River in the southwest of Western Australia. Margaret River is a very unique and special place. It's on the coast, so there's amazing surf, and then just a few kilometres in, there's some of the best wineries and best vineyards in the country. Cullen Wines has always been at the forefront of some of Australia's greatest wines, and through my journey into sustainable food production, I also really acknowledge sustainable wine production, and it's really great to be able to not only tell the story about sustainable food, but about sustainable wine. Vanya is a real inspiration of mine, and we've been lucky enough to be friends for many years now, and I absolutely admire and adore the hard work that she does into recognising country, doing things sustainably, but also making some of the world's best wine.
So cheers.
Cheers.
I'm Vanya Cullen, Managing Director and part owner at Cullen Wines in Wilyabrup, Margaret River, Western Australia. The sustainable winemaking practices at Cullen have been integral to our whole business since the beginning. The three words which define Cullen are quality, integrity and sustainability. So the truth of the land, the integrity of place comes into the wine when it's poured into your glass. My mother and I worked together for about 25 years before she passed, but we minimal chemical inputs, and then we looked at being certified organic, and so with that we planted cover crops, we got compost, and we stopped using synthetic chemicals on the land and vines, and we noticed a great difference in health in the property almost immediately.
I think the practices across the vineyard are second to none that I've ever seen. So much effort going into creating an ecosystem around the vines, and for me, I can really taste that in the glass. So the cover crops, there's 22 or 23 different plants growing here, all serving different purposes. So things like daikon radish, they're grown to sort of penetrate the soil, to make little tracks for worms to aerate the soil. And then you've got things like the brassicas that are there to make flowers that the bees come and pollinate. So the cover crops just add a whole bunch of different nutrients to the soil. We've got this lovely rainbow of root vegetables happening here. And by steaming them, we're really going to retain all of the nutrients in the vegetables and retain the flavour as well. It's a pretty simple one. If you look at a pot of water once you've blanched vegetables in it, the water's coloured, it's taken and extracted stuff out of the veggies that you're cooking in there. So by steaming it, it just really concentrates the nutrients and the flavour. Just going to give it a little season just with some salt and into the steamer. Cooking with cover crops is great. It's originally never intended to be a food source. It was for sort of soil health and biodiversity. The first time I, planted a cover crop and actually looked at it and went, this food's really edible. So we can extend our whole garden program by growing food between the rows. So it's got a multi-purpose use, which I think is really amazing. I'm really excited to be working on the stories of sustainability with Miele, and it's really great to see such a forward-thinking company not just talking about it, but actually doing it. Telling these amazing stories around Australia, but actually doing it in the most sustainable way that we possibly can.
The process doesn't happen overnight. You have to make a long-term strategic commitment to it, both emotionally and financially, and have faith. And I think that the outcomes that we've seen here have been astonishing in terms of sustainability. And these wines are all old now, and they're still really healthy. It's quite extraordinary to see that. We're a second generation going on third generation family. Mum and Dad set up the business, and I've been fortunate enough as the youngest of 6 to be the person who's been the custodian of this property. But I think family is pivotal in how we are and how we are in the world, really. That whole connection of sustainability as well is the most important thing we can all be doing as a human race.